I remember a lot of brothers being mad at me when I did this video. Uh, he had this woman who I view as ratchet, who was on TikTok that was talking about black men in therapy. And I've noticed that you have a lot of these black female therapists that come on and, they start to have this disgruntled view towards black men because they want black men to open up more. And my thing about it is this, plain and simple. I've always said, and I continue to say, that I am an advocate for black men going to therapy. I believe that so-called black men need to go to therapy to get their emotions out, and that they should utilize mental services as much as they can. Especially in the olden days, we didn't really go to therapy. What did we use to cope? We use violence, we use guns, we use liquor, we use weed, we use dope, we use all these different things instead of going to see a therapist. And also that has to deal with programming by the American government, especially how they treated us back in the day and stuff like that. So I won't say that, the fault is directly on us as black men, but I can understand, sitting back and viewing this video. This was a very tough video to make for me, but I figured the thing about it is with a lady like Shabree Rawls, it was a needed conversation to spread the light on, in my opinion. I'm not saying that I agree. I'm not saying that I disagree. I just wanted others to understand when I made my assessment about doing this a video, I was just touching on the fact and matter that, black men need to be vulnerable a little bit more than they are. Because the thing about it is sitting back and not really saying anything or complaining, especially brothers that come online all day and complain about black women, but they're not dealing with the issue of self, proves the fact and matter that black men need to do better mentally. We got to look at ourselves like kings. You know what I'm saying? We move a different way. We have to move a different way. So thing about it is, brothers probably took it the wrong way on how I did the video, but it is what it is. Sometimes you're just not going to agree with my opinion, and that's absolutely fine. Sometimes you will. So let's check out what you guys said. First comment says, Black Rob Baccarat. Yeah, I don't know if it was black men. Actually, a black woman wrote an article that gave harsh criticism. Also, you can't fault the people who report obscene behavior. The message was bad. Black men need therapy, correct. 90% of my clientele are black men. So who's not getting therapy? Michael Robinson 869 says straight simping on 1000. And I believe that he's referring to me, that I'm simping on 1000. And I'll say this. The funny thing about a lot of these, people that come online and say that you're simping, it's just another way of saying that they don't understand your opinion. Therefore, they have to throw ad hominems or use all these different deceptive tools or deceptive words to make it seem like you're just being against them, or, you're making it seem like you're against black men. It's all an emotional ploy. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, like, it's too much shit. I mean, it's crazy, man. Trevino 2406 says that's bullshit. And Michael Robinson responds again saying simping on 1000. I can tell Michael Robinson is a man child because he has to repeat the same comments over and over again when he already said it the first time. Okay. Young Romeo 6183 says, dude, she needs a therapist. The book she read is about white men, and as usual, y'all broken asses try to apply it to the black community. LMAO at your support for this lunatic. By the way, a black woman got fired, and thank God. What black man can trust her with their problems? Black men are not lonely, just black masculine women are. Dude, it time to grow a pair. You sound simp as fuck. Funny thing is, with the whole entire battle that goes on about the Shabree Rawls case, it's funny because I'm actually the same one that would say something against a woman like this. And this is where I sat out there and said in the video, I know what I said. I sat up there and I said, I don't like her delivery and I don't like everything that she says. And I don't agree with her 100%. I did say that in the video. So I don't understand why brothers is getting all in their fifis when I made it abundantly clear that I don't agree with everything she says, but I understand her angle. See, that's the whole entire thing about trying to get down to a case. You have to understand both sides in order to make a proper assessment and to give your judgment on it. See, the thing about it is y'all don't understand that. So y'all sitting up there saying I'm a simp. Lamar Dennis 9510 says she needs to take her own advice and get therapy herself. Black men will never continue to evolve if we live in our emotions all day. It's not in our DNA. What about the rest of the world? Are they just pleasant, emotional beings? I'm just saying. Yeah. And I will say that, usually sometimes therapists need therapists. You know what I mean? And somebody like Shabree Rawls has taken to TikTok to let our emotion. I don't think that was the best thing for her to do, and she basically told on herself and put herself out there. But the problem with black men, this type of issue could have been a cease and desist. She could have said what she said, and brothers didn't need to respond. Brothers could have sat there, had separate conversations with ourselves and be able to say, well, you know what? You disagree or you agree with her. Why? Right? And we don't have to include another woman talking about she's a therapist for black men. See, the thing about it is, certain black women that I've seen post themselves as therapists, their whole entire logic is flawed. Because if they feel like a black man is not telling them what they want to say, or they feel some type of way about something that a black man says, then they want to get out the game, or they want to be able to take out their frustrations on social media. And that's not professional. And I know you got to go to school for all of this. A lot of these women talking about their therapists, it's all bullshit. There might be a predatorial reason why these black women say what they say. I mean, hey, you already got someone on there on YouTube right now who's a loud eugenicist and made it abundantly clear she's trying to study the pathology and try to study the psychology or psychosis of black men, while all the while being a full-on misandrist. So you can miss me with all that. And women in general will always have this different things where they think they can understand the minds of men. They can't. And I mean, this is where I would advocate more and more that black men need to be around fellow black men when it comes to therapy. Because men have a certain code. Men have a certain way about themselves that the woman just cannot understand. And that is absolutely fine. You can't understand everything that a man goes through or what he's harboring pain with. So he can't be relatable to you 100% of the time. And then you get mad and sit up there and say he's not really emotional enough, or he's not saying what he really needs to say, because you're a woman. And especially if it's a man that's going to a therapist, because we are visual creatures, there might be information that a man wants to uphold because that woman is attractive. So he's going to probably be like, I don't really want to say all this to this woman and stuff like that. Maybe it could be a factor in it. You never know. Tin Val says, I think the language is strong and can distract people from the message in general due to someone being triggered by being referenced out of their name. Emotional vocabulary and awareness of self is important, but her delivery turns me off. Agreed. And that's what I was hoping to get out of this video when I reviewed it, and I did it. And my whole entire thing is her message was definitely bad. The way that she delivered it was definitely bad. I will not deny that at all. But I think when you listen to what someone says, you can see what they're correct about and what they're wrong about. Hope you brothers can understand that. TGI Fly responds by saying, I really came here to hear what Shorty said, and I can't tell if you're agreeing with her or disagreeing with her. LMAOO. Well, brother, my whole entire thing is, when I do a lot of these assessments, I like to look at both sides of the story so that I could just sit back and say, well, she was wrong about this. She was right about this. She was right about this. She was wrong about that. And this is the thing. You could have a disagreement with someone, or you could not like someone on their talking points, but you got to admit, sometimes somebody that you don't like could say something that's very true. And so part of this is just analyzing the situation, understanding it for what it is, and just making a judgment call where you agree with it or you disagree with it. But, brothers is already saying that I'm a simp. So Pure Butterfly Spirit 02 says, I'm sorry, but her communication skills in these videos are garbage, not professional, and she is representing herself professionally. She wouldn't have been fired from her job. Using bitches and dusties isn't professional language, and it doesn't look like helping men correct themselves in relationships. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Her communication skills did suck. The thing about it is, she was acting off her emotions. So she decided to say, because of the frustration she gets from her profession, she decided to think it was okay to talk on social media like she talks to a friend or talks to a man she's probably dealing with. And she didn't understand that's not the way you go about it as a therapist. And I don't want to use the excuse that she's in her 20s, but I definitely do think that sometimes the younger you are, the more you don't understand things or how to be appropriate with things, especially on social media. But, that's here nor there. Marquise 912 says passport equals happiness. Passport bros. She we here says we here. Salute. Give me your thoughts in the comment section, especially with this hard ass video I did. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Peace.